Okay, let's talk for a moment or two about protecting your assets. And I'm not talking about exemptions or claiming exemptions and exempt property as being protected. I'm talking about other methods to protect assets that are very important for your life and your lifestyle and the foundation of what you do in every day. I'm talking about issues of timing of when you file a bankruptcy if you have to file. I'm talking about the type of bankruptcy or the chapter of bankruptcy that you would file. Third, we're talking about potentially engaging in pre-petition bankruptcy planning. And this all evolves around strategic planning for protecting as much of your property as you possibly can so you can make and get a true fresh start. First of all, timing of filing for bankruptcy. You might not need to file for bankruptcy at all if you can negotiate a settlement, or if we can help you negotiate a settlement with your creditor. So, that's the first obvious step, is the timing of filing for bankruptcy is no bankruptcy at all. But there's other things that you can perhaps delay the filing of your Chapter 7 bankruptcy so that you can collect in an accounts receivable somebody that owes you money and spend that resource on something that you truly need. You also can delay the timing of your filing of bankruptcy so that you can cure an arrearage that you have on a car or a house or something that otherwise would be taken if you filed a Chapter 7 bankruptcy and you are still in arrears on that secured loan. Timing of filing, perhaps what comes up very, very frequently for us is come December, January, February, you might be expecting in February or March a $2,000 or $3,000, $4,000 tax refund. And if you file in December or even November, then the trustee would be entitled to, or the bankruptcy estate would be entitled to, take your tax refund and use it to distribute out to your creditors. Whereas if you wait for those 2 or 3, 4 months, file your tax return, get your refund, spend it to catch up on your car, to get some tires on your car, to get some clothes for your children, to get some school supplies purchased, your mortgage current. These are all timing issues that you really want to take your personal financial situation to somebody who on a regular basis puts pieces of a puzzle together relative to one's personal financial situation to help determine the proper timing of filing. Now, another element of protecting your assets is with regard to the type of bankruptcy that you file. If you filed a Chapter 7 liquidation bankruptcy, there may be an asset that you really need that is not protected under the exemption laws. And the trustee's job in a Chapter 7 is to assert control over those assets, turn them into cash, and distribute the proceeds out to your creditor. Now, if it's a real important asset that you need and you can't protect in a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, then you might want to consider filing a Chapter 13 bankruptcy where you're not required to surrender any property to the trustee. You just have to make sure that you pay to unsecured creditors what they would have received had there been a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, liquidation, over a 36 to 60 month period of time. So let's look at an example. Let's say, for example, that you have a third vehicle that you need in your family. Now, you can only protect one motor vehicle with your exemption, and your spouse can claim another exemption, but you have a vehicle that you use for a business venture. Or that maybe one of your children drives or something like this, and you just can't afford to lose that vehicle. If you were to file a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, let's say that vehicle were worth $3,500. Well, the unsecured creditors would receive $3,500 less the trustee's expenses in a Chapter 7. So if your Chapter 13 proposed to pay $3,000 over the 36 to 60 month period of time, then you could keep that vehicle that you need for doing the work or for your child to use. The third element is with regard to pre-bankruptcy exemption planning. Protecting your assets, it's totally appropriate to take a non-exempt asset, something that wouldn't be protected, liquidate it, and then go ahead and use that resource or those funds to cure mortgage arrears on your home or to cure arrears on your car or to get an engine repair that you need. We talked about this a moment or two ago. To convert non-exempt assets into an exemptable asset is totally appropriate, but you have to be careful that you're not engaging in a transaction or a series of transactions that are with the intent to hinder, delay, or defraud your creditors in any way. And these things turn on some very, very tight dimes. So it's real important before you file for bankruptcy that you get in to see a qualified, experienced consumer bankruptcy attorney as quickly as possible. Explain your personal financial situation, bring lawsuits and judgments and bring collection letters and show them to your attorney, and then ask your attorney to help you plan and strategically design what type of bankruptcy, if you need bankruptcy at all, what type of negotiation could occur, what type of timing of the filing of the bankruptcy, and what type of pre-bankruptcy exemption planning that you can engage in to help your family to get a true, fresh financial start out of your bankruptcy proceeding.